Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, everyone. Welcome to the EU Desk Curaçao Funds Week. I am Shivani and I'll be the host for this session. Thank you so much for joining us on this very special occasion, celebrating 5 years of EU Desk Curaçao. I hope you've joined and enjoyed the other webinars and our guest speakers. Before we get started, I would like to go over a few housekeeping rules. This session will be recorded and uploaded to other social media platforms, so be aware of that. And if you have any questions, feel free to use the Q&A box to ask questions, and at the end we will come back to it for the Q&A session. So our next guest speaker, I would like to introduce Tsnatee Elisa, who will be sharing insights on Diaspora dynamics using technology in mentoring and coaching of Curaçao's youth and young professionals, which aligns perfectly with today's subtopic, technology. So without further ado, the digital floor is all yours.
Thank you so much, Shivani. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. It's right before your lunch, so we're going to have an energetic session right before you are going to eat. Now, right now, I'm going to ask you just one question, and I know that the title that Shivani was giving right there is such a long topic, but during the whole presentation, I'm going to make sure that you know who I am, what I do, and how we can all make a change and make a great impact for Curaçao. So if I go to the next slide, I'm going to ask you just one question. And the moderator or Shifani, please turn on the poll for me in 10 seconds or now. So the question that I would like to ask you, if you had a career boosting superpower, which one would you choose? Now put it in the poll right now and let me know. I'm just going to explain it really quick so you know what these type of superpowers are. But time mastery is the one where you can manage time. So that means you'll never be late or miss a deadline. And I know we love that. The second one is the shapeshift. Wouldn't it be amazing if you could switch from a doctor today to a lawyer tomorrow? I can't even imagine the different skills that you are going to develop and learn from. The third one is teleportation. So would you like to teleport from one country to another to network with different organizations in different countries? Maybe that's interesting. The fourth one is mind reading. Would you want to mind read and really know what your customer is thinking so that when you have an offer on the table, your customer is already going to say yes because you read their mind? And the last one, which might be a weird one because we never ask whether someone wants to be the Robin to the Batman, but today we are. This one is about sidekicking. Do you want to have the most energy in the world so you can help and uplift other people so they can start going for the goals that they want to go for? Now, I'm going to give you just 10 more seconds to just fill in and let me know what you vote for in the poll. Shivani, do you see a few responses coming in?
Let me check for you.
Yes.
I think our other moderator can see that.
Okay, perfect. But the one thing that I want to let you know is that if you can't fill in the poll, you can also just use the Q&A or the chat box to write in your answer. Okay, I think we can go to the next one because I'm not seeing the responses yet, but maybe if we could upload the responses, that would be grand. But while we're doing that, I'm just going, sorry, Shivani?
I give my response to you.
Yes, I'd love to see the responses.
Well, my response would be, I think I would be very fond of mind reading.
Oh, okay. And why would you want to do that?
Because I think that would be very handy in negotiating, especially, you know, in this time of age. There's a lot of things going on, and I would love to know what the person exactly is thinking about.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Up my game or my strategy to that.
Okay, Shivani. Okay, I'll let later on in the presentation, we'll dive a little bit more deeper into
All
that. But I haven't introduced myself yet, but my name is Tsnatee Elisa. And now I know that you might think, oh, that's a difficult name or that's a unique name. Well, it is because I haven't found anyone with the same name yet. But I've learned from ChatGPT that it actually means a beautiful souvenir, but also endurance and strength. And while I was explaining my name, I see that we have a few of responses come in. The majority of the responses are teleportation, and then the second one, mind reading, and then at the end, we have one for side kicking. Interesting. Okay, thank you so much for sharing the poll responses. Later on, we'll come back to that. Thank you so much. Okay, so again, for my name, it means strength and endurance, but I try to live up to my name by empowering and energizing people through the workshops that I give and my presentations, because I am a speaker, a moderator, presenter, but most importantly, also a brand consultant. So that means that I help young professionals in regards to their personal branding in a workforce, or even a branding for organizations that want to elevate their brand so they can reach their target audiences better. Now, I'm going to dive definitely deeper into that throughout this presentation. But yes, I talk a lot for a living and I love it. So I'm continuing to talk. I'm going to continue to talk right now for the next part. Let me tell you about my story and how I started doing what I am doing. So it all started when I was born and raised on Curaçao, and I was around 10 or 11 years old when I already participated in Tumba. Maybe someone knows Tumba, of course, and people from Curaçao know what that is. But I remember being 10 years old, standing on stage and not being nervous at all. And I thought, this might be interesting. And I started going more into arts, starting to stand on stage more often, but never thought that I would make it my job. But I moved to the Netherlands when I was 17, 18, because that is the time that we want to expand our skill set. So I started studying international business, marketing, and finance, moved to the United Kingdom in Bristol, did a double degree there and a master. And after I completed the studies in finance, marketing, and strategic management, I finally completed those and I moved on to start working at Dell Technologies. Now, Dell Technologies is the organization that is really at the forefront of technology because it constantly continues to focus on transforming lives and businesses with technology. So I was really at the hub and at the beginning of the digitalization that is happening at the moment, AI that is coming in. We were all at the beginning of that. But I started working as an account manager or graduate at Dell Technologies. And I remember that when I was on Curaçao, I used to love standing on stages, performing, talking with people, motivating them. But in that role, I wasn't able to do that. So what did I do? I decided to go to my manager and I asked my manager if I could move to that next position into a more creative role. And remember the responses from my manager were, you know what, Tsnatee, maybe you're not ready yet. You know what, you're doing an amazing job right now, but take your time. I know that you young professionals always want to hop from the one job to another. But you know what? We'll see in 5 to 10 years where you're at. And I remember thinking, 5 to 10 years? Really? So instead of waiting for my manager to say yes for me to take that next leap, I decided to create my own opportunities. So I created workshops and presentations, really focus on cultural diversity that is really important in corporate organizations, especially IT, as the only woman of color in my team, and actually as the only woman also in my team. I realized how important that was, but it was also important for me to showcase my skills and talents, to showcase that I have a creative side, and people need to know that I am actually good in doing that, because I thought if I do that, opportunities might come my way. And they did. Because later on, I got managers and managements that decided to say, to tell me, you know what, Tsnatee, we see that you're in a sales role right now, but you have other capabilities that would be even more amazing if you move to a marketing opportunity or a marketing role. And I thought, wait a minute, that's exactly what I've been telling my manager. Hello. So at that point, I got an advocate, a leader right next to Michael Dell that supported me and really pushed for me to move to that next role. And that is how I started as a marketing manager at Dell Technologies, which was one of my favorite roles in my career trajectory. But one thing that is also really important is that while I did have that job, I started giving more workshops, and more organizations outside of Dell started requesting me to give personal branding workshops because they saw how I quickly moved from one role to another and the capabilities and skills that I use in order to get to that position. Well, that's why I decided to leave Dell and start my own consultancy firm. So I'm a founder of Tsnatee Consultancy Firm, and that is where the company where I give energetic, empowering workshops, speaking engagements to people that really need to hear it, whether you are in a career funk, career or your career doubt, or for young professionals that don't really know what next step they want to take. That's where I come in, and I try to give them the guidance through mentoring and coaching. And as you can see, I also am a speaker and workshop facilitator for different organizations that have graduate programs or people that are veterans within the organization. So it doesn't matter, anyone I would love to work with. Now, to tell you the truth, one thing that remained consistent throughout my career trajectory is personal branding. And now you might be asking yourself, what is personal branding? And maybe you already know it and it's a buzzword at this moment. Maybe everyone is like, you know what? I've been hearing personal branding for a few years right now, but what is it actually? Well, I've created this specific model, and you can see that on the left side, you have how you are and how you see yourself. And on the right side, you can have how other people perceive you. Well, the thing that you have in the middle, the white part, that is actually your personal brand, is what people see of you that you are showing of yourself. So the more you show of yourself in a professional setting, the more people can perceive you the way that you want them to perceive you. So you can have a really great impact. Let's say that right now you are perceived as a more shy person that's scared to speak up in an organization. And I know that a lot of young professionals, they tend to have this. So that's why I try to help them in order to showcase the skills that they have so they can show that, hey, I actually dare to speak up and I can have the different skills and talents that might help someone else in a role. So that's a little bit of explanation of personal brand. But then what is the importance of personal branding? Well, I have 3 different reasons, and I could give a list of at least 20, but I decided to give 3 today for the purpose of this presentation. The first one is new opportunities, career advancement. I know that you can get an increase of opportunities if you brand yourself correctly, because if your colleague knows exactly what you are good at, who you are, and what your ambitions are, that person is going to recommend you to opportunities that you weren't even thinking about. Now, if you have a weak personal brand, that means that you are actually going to miss the opportunities that will help you to achieve career success. So that's why a personal brand, a strong one, is definitely essential. The next one is recognition. I know that sometimes we're scared to speak up or tell people, I did this and I'm extremely proud of it. Whether you helped your manager to finalize an Excel file or you helped another customer for them to really get the best offer that they deserve, it's okay if you share that online and to get the recognition for that. There's nothing wrong with getting recognition that you actually deserve. And the last one, if you get that recognition, if you are exceeding and improving in your career, you're actually going to be happy. It is going to increase the endorphins in your body that are going to give you even more motivation that you need to excel in your career and live the best life that you want to live. Okay, so the model that I have created, this is called the 5 A's to an A plus personal brand. This is the model that I use throughout all of my speaking engagements. And today I have the treat for you so you can learn more about this specific model and give you just a little bit of tips about how you can brand yourself and how you could use technology to brand yourself even better. Because one thing that is really important is technology transcends the geographical distance that we have. Technology is actually the thing that is connecting us with different countries, the different people with different skills. So make use of that technology. And in personal branding, one of my favorite websites or apps that it's so beautiful for me is LinkedIn, which is the professional network, your own database, your own personal website that you can have. As soon as people Google you, one of the first things that they will see is your LinkedIn profile. So make sure that you're authentic, you're true to who you are in real life. So that when people see you online and when recruiters are actually looking at your personal page, that is aligned with the person that you are, with your quirks that you have, the funny things that you say, the expertise that you have. Make sure that is aligned, because if there is a misalignment, then you are not going to, maybe you're going to be perceived as a fake instead of real. And you do not want that, because a genuine brand is important. The second one is affirming. Affirming is actually building trust and letting people know that you are good in what you can do. For example, a doctor has a diploma, and we know that that person has a diploma because he works or she works at a hospital. So that means that we know that we can trust that person has the expertise. So that is one thing you should be aware of. Share your diplomas, share the trainings that you've done, so people know on LinkedIn or even on Facebook on Instagram what you're actually doing. And I am a great fan of posting all of these on these social platforms. And the third one is accomplishments. Do not be afraid to share your accomplishments with the rest of the world, as I said, whether that is indeed the Excel file that you helped your manager with, whatever it is, please start sharing. Because as I've shared my accomplishment with one person online. That person has seen what I'm doing, and that is the reason that I am standing here right now giving you that presentation. And I'm really telling you that is just one little example of you sharing all of the things that you're actually great at. The fourth one is a flame. Now you might think, why a flame? A flame is actually the fire within you. Usually that is the passion that you have for something. For example, I am addicted to performing in musicals. A lot of people might not know that, but that is what I do. I perform in the musical Chicago. I am performing this week also in Cinderella the musical as the evil stepsister. And these are the fun things that I love to share with my professional network, because that is going to trigger something for them to know, hey, she does do something next to her job that gives her the extra fire. And people love to connect with people that are passionate, whether that is in your current role or next to your 9 to 5. It doesn't matter. Fire is always something that is going to make other people also warmer, right? So make sure that you do that. Don't be scared to share what you do and what you love to do. So the last one is advocacy. This one might just be my favorite, because advocates have helped me to get the opportunities that I've had in my work, in my jobs at it, while I worked at Heineken, while I worked at Dell Technologies, while I worked at Inditex. And these are the people that are your sponsors, your mentors, your coaches, your aunts that are going to tell you, Tsnatee, I have a great opportunity for you. You better make sure that you take this opportunity. Or they are the ones that mention your name in a room where people would usually not mention your name, in a room of opportunities where your name wouldn't have popped up if that specific person didn't do that. Those are the allies, the people in your network that you actually need in order to excel in your career. Now, I've given you this treat, and I hope this will inspire you also to take the leap and start taking more action towards your personal brand. Now, if I move to the next one, I'll let you know what I actually do with this model and what I do in my role. I give workshops and coaching and lectures when it comes to personal branding, cultural diversity, but also career happiness. And these workshops, as you can see below, you can see all these amazing faces of young professionals that I've collaborated and worked with. I helped them with pitches that they had to give to investors. I've helped them with their branding, their personal brand, in order for them to move from position A to position B. I've helped people that are in career funks in their current position, and I've helped them in order for them to remain in that position, but actually start to having different ways that still makes them happy. And I do that through the workshops, but also one-on-one coaching and guest lectures. For example, down below, you'll see a few images. Those are with the people that I gave at the students at the University of Curaçao, which was another opportunity that I got because I shared that I want to speak at universities. Just ask what you want and you shall receive. I'm telling you, it's the truth. So that is what I do. But next to that, I've also just self-published my book called The Career Journal. And this is a book that I share with young professionals on Curaçao. They can get it online, but they can also buy it physically. This book is going to give you the tips and tricks that you need when it comes to branding, networking, boasting, so sharing your accomplishments. It has different QR codes in the books that are going to whisk you away to different videos of mine where I give you the motivation and the push that you need, because I know that a lot of times at the beginning of the year, we tend to be extremely excited and we want to start working on that one goal, but around March or April, we've already forgotten it. Let's not do that. So this career journal is actually going to keep you in line and make sure that you are actually going to achieve your goal. So if you're interested in that, always let me know. But today, the reason that I give back to Curaçao through the workshops, through the lectures and mentoring and coaching that I do, is because this is home for me. This is the place where I've learned the skills that I have, that I love to perform, for example. This is where I learned that to walk and run. And I mean, I think that everyone, whether you're in the Netherlands, whether you're on Curaçao, I think it's important to give back to our own island. So the second one is a mindset reshift. I know that while coaching the youth, I realize that a lot of them tend to see the disadvantage because they're living in a smaller country or island. And they think, opportunities might not come my way. Maybe I need to move somewhere else in order to get the opportunities. And that's all up to you. But I'm telling you that there are a lot of opportunities on Curacao, and let's reshift minds and let our youth know that there's a lot for us to do on Curacao and a lot to give back. The third one is representation and relatability. Listen, through the coaching, I try to share as much about different people from Curacao that are thriving at the moment. And that is the reason that I'm also trying to create a TV show so I could talk with more people that are actually thriving at the moment in whichever position that they have, so we can continue to inspire our youth. And this is going to be shared on TV or on social media. But if you know anyone that wants to share their story with me, please do not hesitate to send me a message, because I'd love to connect with that person so I can so that person can be used, their story can be used to inspire the youth of Curacao about what they are doing, because that is relatability for them. They're going to have that twinkle in their eyes to know that, hey, I can actually achieve this because I know that Sandra is also doing something that I want to be doing. So make sure that you let me know if you know anyone. The fourth one is about skill sharing, community building. In my coaching, I work a lot in groups. Of course, there's a one-on-one, but I love to do it in groups. Why? Because while we're doing it online or face-to-face, more people become more open and start sharing the skills that they have or the stories that can inspire other people sitting in that group. Now, that is the thing that I want to inspire on Curacao, for more collaboration to happen between different organizations, but also between our youth on Curacao, for them to collaborate and to help each other elevate. And the last one is the economic impact. Curaçao will be seen if we continue to help our youth and our young professionals to showcase their skills and talent, to develop their skills, then I am telling you that Curaçao will be seen as a beautiful talent pool for other organizations to want to have their to set their specific company on Curaçao. So we have more jobs that are going to be created, but also remote working. As I said in the beginning, technology, as long as you have your internet connection, you are able to also work remotely. And I know that a lot of people, there are a lot of opportunities for people to be able to do that. But most importantly, giving back through the coaching is actually giving our youth a head start. So let's all give our youth a head start in whichever way that you can. Whether you are an owner of a business right now and you have people working or in your organization that want to get that extra motivation and be inspired and go for the goals that they want to go for, then inspire them to do so. Give them the push that they need. Because in the end, later on, our youth and young professionals are going to be the ones that are going to be the decision makers later on. They're going to decide what is going to be happening with this beautiful island. So let's inspire them right now so they can be great tomorrow. So finally, before I end, I am going to also let you know what the different ways are that I am using in order to give the people through my one-on-one coaching or my workshops online, how I still energize and motivate them. Now, a few of the apps that I use, and I don't know if there are any people that are coaches or motivators or focused on career development, but one of the things that I use is Kahoot and Mentimeter. If you're not familiar with Kahoot and Mentimeter, I recommend you to start looking at those apps immediately, because these are different quizzes that you can use on your phone. And I know that people tend to be on their phone constantly, so why not let them use their phone to learn more, okay? The next one is that you can also, for my courses, I give a 360 brand scan. So I analyze everyone's online brand, whether that is on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, I will analyze it. And I use different apps to be able to do that. But also, if you are interested in reading using those specific apps, always send me a message and I would love to connect with you to help you to find it out. But one thing that I also find important when I am giving workshops is to always turn on the camera while I'm presenting. Now, I can't see anyone right now, so it's making me a little nervous. I hope that you're enjoying this session right now. But through all of my workshops, one thing that I find important is to have different energizers where I make people grab stuff in their living room and come back into session and showcase their different artifacts that they have. Another thing that I do is I also try to share a lot of knowledge and skills through blogs and videos on LinkedIn, on Instagram. So if you want to know more about that and how I use the different technological advancement and technological tools, please let me know so we can connect. So now this question is back. I remember that I asked you which superpower you would like to use, and I hope that at the end of the session, I have inspired you to choose for the psychic. I know that it is the one that might not be the most popular one, but let's all be the best supportive sidekick there is for our youth and our young professionals on Curaçao to help them excel through coaching and mentoring. If you want to work with me, you can also do that. You can find me anywhere online as Tsnatee so we can connect with each other and to work with each other if you would like to do that. I loved giving you this session right now and love talking with you in this session. I hope you loved it. And thank you so much for joining. I know it's time for lunch right now, so enjoy your lunch. If there are any questions, we could have some time for questions. But if not, thank you so much for joining. So Shivani, that was my presentation.
Thank you so much, Tsnatee, for this inspiring presentation and energetic too. I haven't had a moment that I deviated my attention towards something else. I was concentrating on you. I do have a few questions for you.
Oh, great. Okay.
Because it's your presentation and your attitude towards the island is exactly in line with the EU Desk Funds Week and our theme now for to inspire the diaspora here and the youth on the island.
Mhm.
Um, many many in school we don't really get classes on how to start a LinkedIn or what's best to do. So
Mhm.
for an aspiring entrepreneur, for example, here on the island, what advice would you give to him or her how to use technology or how to start their LinkedIn to advertise or build their own brand?
Yes, that's a great question, Shivani. Thank you so much for that question. I know a lot of times people think, usually with technology, when I have my own business for an entrepreneur, I need to start building a website. And that's not it. Because as I said in my presentation, LinkedIn is already the best tool that you can need. There are investors, stakeholders, coaches, mentors, recruiters on LinkedIn that are people that are interested in your topic, interested in the product and the services that you can deliver. So why not use LinkedIn? It is just about, just as you go on Instagram and create your beautiful account and post all of your beautiful pictures, start doing that also on LinkedIn, because sometimes we make the step to post on LinkedIn even bigger than it is on other social platforms. And that's not necessary, because as I said, you have to be as authentic as possible. Just be honest and post your first story, because storytelling is one of the things that is so relatable to everyone on LinkedIn. And you will realize a lot of people will react to your story. But if you're honest and let them know, hey, everyone, I've just started with my own business. I'm looking for more people that I can connect with, or I want to let you know what my services are. I'm telling you that LinkedIn is the platform where people are going to give you the tips and tricks that you need. So do not be afraid in entrepreneur. Do not be afraid to post yourself and put your content on LinkedIn, because that is the one that you need.
All right, thank you so much for your answer. I will take that advice for myself as well. And then I have another follow-up question because me myself, personally, I'm a very private person when it comes to my personal life and also my career.
Mhm.
Do I draw the line with how much I share on LinkedIn? Because Instagram is different. Mostly my friends and the pictures I share are not very professional in my opinion. So
Mhm.
where do I draw the line with how much I share with my LinkedIn audience?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, it depends on which type of role you have. If you have a role in a more professional setting, I would be a little bit more weary with the types of pictures that you would post on LinkedIn. So you're asking me indeed, what is the line that I can draw? And it really depends on your personal preference. But if you want to exude a more professional atmosphere, professional you, then make sure that you are staying aligned to what other people within your current organization or your current industry value as more professional. So, for example, it could be in the style, your clothing style that you wear. You could, elevate that with branding. It could be the way that you communicate. It could be more on the professional side, and it's still you, but it's more the professional you that is going to help you with entrepreneurs. But I know that other people might also say, you know what, I'm me. This is me. Like me as I am. And those people are
Exactly.
also thriving on LinkedIn right now. They are posting the content that they post on Instagram. Personally, I don't do that, but if that works for that specific person, maybe it can also work with you. But it's really finding your own balance with what works for you and what you feel comfortable sharing.
All right. Thank you so much for this elaborate explanation.
Of
I think
course.
I have already asked my questions. If there are any questions still, let me check. No, there aren't. If there are any questions, please feel free to contact Tsnatee.
Yes.
Um, I would love to thank you for your time and for joining us for this event. And I hope to, I will connect with you and I hope others
LinkedIn.
will. Yes, on LinkedIn. And that's it for the session.
Thank you so much, Shivani. Thank you so much, everyone from the EU Funds Week webinar team for this invitation. I definitely appreciate it. I wish everyone an amazing day, and maybe we might collaborate together or we might see each other very soon. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.
You too. Bye bye.